Which one do I put it on? So I tell the December politician that are not sweating before they make that money that can buy that kind of shoe in the contemporary Nigeria. Our foundation has been hurt. There is no entrepreneur in Nigeria today that is making it other than the banks and then the political class. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Latishe, for your submission. When we were doing the Diamond Jubilee celebration of our convener, that issue of leadership and the development of Nigeria was exhaustively discussed. And the point was clearly made. The challenge we have today is that of leadership. People who do not know why they are in government. People who are just there to take over the resources of the nation, our common resources, appropriate it among themselves, and leave us suffering. Thank you so much. You have repeated it again. It's something that everybody is now getting to acknowledge. May I invite the paper presenter to, there's just comments. There were no questions actually. Maybe you want to react to what they have said. Please put down your hands. I can see the hands are still up. Those who have made comments, please put down your hands so that we know that they are not new ones. Dr. Shaba, please, you want to react to what they have said? There are no specific questions, but just comment. Okay, I have Dr. Babajide who wants to, I don't know whether it's a comment or a question. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, sir. Good evening, everyone. I want to appreciate the paper presenter, Dr. Folakemi Joy Shaba. Of course, I've been impressed by the quality of the paper that's been presented to us, and I thank the coordinators too. Also, the member of MFP, Ms. Dr. Ibadu. Every other members here duly present, I appreciate and I say good evening, everyone. On what I've been able to decipher, it's really a big, let me say, a big thing, a big issue on our hands, really. Because when Chief Mrs. I think it was Mrs. Falade was talking, she spoke about the professionals doing what they can do on their own path. Because one of the recommendations of the Prime Center is that the government should try and intervene. There should be an intervention for the government, considering the environment that we are now, which is okay. But then the professionals too, they are some of them are trying to find their feet. That's what I want to say concerning what Mrs. Falade just said. Because there's some people in our districts that they are even requesting for as low as 5,000 naira to be able to cope. 5,000 naira, you can imagine how and where we have found ourselves. And it's not as if they are not working. They are working, but then some of them, the clients that they have had issues. So some of them now had to maybe go back, try and see where they can, like Mr. Ide, maybe try and see what they can come on in. But then I find that maybe because of their peculiar nature, some of them are not finding it that can ease. Some people like us, we have 3, 4, 5 streams of income trying to make ends meet in this place, trying to get to this place. But some are even trying 2, 3, 2, but yet they are finding it very difficult. I don't know what happened. Because at times I sit down, maybe because I've been a past chairman, I sit down and try to see how we can help, how we can maybe come in, do something concerning some of these professionals. What they are going through is better left unsaid. That's what I want to say about that. Then there's some people too, when you want to help them, because what she said specifically was that we too, in our own corners, we should try and see what we can do to affect people, to help, to render help to some less privileged, which I fully understand. But then those less privileged too, they are looking for whatever they can see from you, whatever they can harness and squeeze you dry. I have some businesses that you see people that have run down some of these businesses, you marvel at what they are doing. So in that kind of instance, to start posing the two, people that you are trying to help, whereas what they are doing, even in the shops that you said, I have some running businesses, and they will sell all those items, restock again to your detriment. You are posting that with some of the professionals too that want to do something too, but they don't even have themselves to be able to do. They don't even have that ability. Some will be sending text to you that please, you can help us with 5,000 naira. There was one that even sent a text sending 1,500. I was almost shedding tears. A chartered accountant, a qualified accountant, to say the least. So you see what everybody, and it's because they believe people that what they are going through right now, what they are experiencing now, it's like people just met themselves where they don't expect. There are a lot of people in my workplace, for instance, that work in university, but they don't even come to the office with vehicles again because they cannot cope with buying fuel. Like Mrs. Shaba said, she spent almost 100,000. It's not a lie. To fill my car is 72,000 naira. So have a fuel tank. And then there are so many other things that will come up unexpected in their vehicle. The tires can decide to go AYI any other time. You may decide to brake, you decide to start screeching, then you may need to have to go and get your brake pads and different things. The battery can decide to stop working without even giving you a sign. On a day, you can spend 247. At times, I just decide not to start thinking about it because if you think about it, then you give yourself issues, which I don't expect to. I just look at the positive side of life. But then the people that you want to help, too, people that you want to say, let me try and see what I can do to bring this person out. They are not worthy. They are looking for ways to bring you to lead you dry. What can we do in that kind of instance?
Thank you, Dr. Babajide. I am pained to hear some of these things very clearly. As somebody who has worked in the ICANN Secretariat, I feel your pain. We see a lot of things that happen, and the problem really is that most of our members pass exam, but do not really have the skills to do what they say they want to do. You can pass exam, but when you give them the job to do, they have issues. So they don't have skills. They've been able to pass the exam, they are whatever, somebody assigned for them, they become ACA. But they really can't fit into the work environment. In my office, I had an exam, a challenge. I invited somebody to help us put the accounts together. I outsourced it. I said, look, come, do this for us and all that. When I had a gap with an accounting staff, I said, okay, let's have this person do it. BSc, ACA. I mean, when I saw what he brought, I was shocked. I was shocked that even the dollars and naira, he put everything together in one sheet, everything together, the figures. And I said, but did you get this? I said, no, it's not there. If you are telling me that there's a figure like $10 million in my account, where did you see the 10 million? Show me. Plus, he didn't know the difference between the naira sign and the dollar sign. He didn't know. He just put everything together and gave me a balance the sheet and gave me. And I said, what did you do? What is this? I reported to the person who introduced him, and it was apologies all the same. So the point is this. We need to teach our people to know how to do the job. If they cannot do pure accounting, ICANN has established an entrepreneurship center. Let them go there and acquire additional skills and do some other things. You know, when Adedeji was speaking, he mentioned the issue of entrepreneurship. We are all competing for the same market, audits, financial services, the same market. That's what we are competing for. But the trend today is that leave what everybody is competing for, go to the area that are budging. And that is really the concept of blue ocean strategy. Go for the blue ocean strategy. The red ocean strategy is the area where everybody is filled up. Leave that place, go to a new area. Think it through. Wake up one morning and start to do something else. You know, do something else. And you find that you make away with it. There are a lot of people who are doing different types of businesses. We need to encourage them to go ahead. All those who are trying to run colleagues down, they know that they have shot themselves in the foot because the world goes round and they may not be able to recover from the damage they have done to their integrity. So may I invite Dr. Shabat to react to some of these comments that we have heard?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you so much for the contributions. I'm sorry at a particular time the network in my area was proving challenging. But I heard from Mr. Didiji, I also heard from I think two other persons and my former chairman, Dr. Temitope Abajide. I think this particular topic we are discussing is very succinct at a time like this, not only for ourselves, but for the people that are coming after us. And I want to thank the leadership again for bringing up such a topic like this. The truth of the matter is that the Vuca system, I think, to stay. The volatility of the business environment may be there for a while. You know, the uncertainties, the complexities, the ambiguity may be there for a while. So, like we said earlier, sincerely speaking, it's something that one has to, apply in his or her own setting, looking at the survival strategies that needed to be put in place, at the corporate level, at the business level, at the functional level. I love the way that Mr. Dedeji said it, which is the fact that even when a lot of people are crying that there's no money, there are quite some people that are thinking of where would they put their money. And so when we think and act in a way that becomes positive to our overall being, then we become better persons. Now, the contribution that Dr. Babajide made the other time about our upcoming accountants, sincerely speaking, like the chairman said, I've had this type of experience in the past also, and I wonder, is ICANN actually training people anymore? Is it the same type of exams that we wrote that time that they are writing? Okay, those days it was fail one, fail all, and you had to roll up your sleeves and actually face it. But I mean, it's quite demeaning when you ask a child accountant, for example, to do bank reconciliation, and he doesn't know that he's supposed to be carrying balances of previous month and he's just hanging on the present month. I've had that kind of exposure, and it's so demeaning. So I think that aside the issue of just writing exams, that's talking about professional accountants. Aside the issue of just writing exams, there should be more that the institutes can do in ensuring that these upcoming accountants are actually open to professional experiences. Not only because they want practice experience, practice license, no, but they needed to be exposed. Somebody gets qualified as an accounting teacher in a secondary school. He has never seen a voucher before. He has never seen. So sometimes when he's not exposed to professional, activities, it seems like he never wrote the exams, and people begin to question his professionalism. So I think that as an institute, we should do more. There should be more, brainstorming sessions that can actually bring the best out of these young ones. Let me also say something about what's the chairman said the other time, which borders on policies. We have a lot of policies and even policy somersaults, one thing or the other. I recall a few weeks ago when the government was thinking of, making the average school leaver to get to the age of 18 before they go to, higher institutions or even write exams. I was one of the people that prayed against it. Because if you implement that kind of policy, the fact is, it's going to take about 6 or 7 years before the system gets corrected. What happens to that lacuna, that lacuna sets? You will have a lot of teenage pregnancies. You will have a lot of people that will just fall by the wayside. So you see policies that are not well thought out. I was so glad when they said that policy was reversed. So we needed policies that can be, when this regime was coming in, when you see some comments on the MFE platform, you think it's just political. Somebody says it's because you are pro-B, you are this one. Sometimes I just laugh. Because the truth of the matter is, it's going beyond the persons at the edge, or at the leadership. It's affecting everyone. We are all involved in this thing. Like the first speaker spoke the other time. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name. So it involves everyone. Whether we like it or not, it involves everyone. Our children are in the country. They are not leaving the country, but their minds are outside the country because they feel that things are not working. We needed to educate them. We have talked about, skill development and all that. So it's an ongoing thing. And for businesses, I know, like Mr. Adeji said, once they're able to create a niche for themselves, once they're able to, go into the Blue Ocean strategy, I have gained that tonight, they are going to stay above board and they will be sustained. And I believe that God will help us in all of these things. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those your comments, and they are spot on. I think the anchor, you want to take it from there and invite the rapporteur, or we have something in between before she presents her report. Our anchor. Are you there?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you very much,
sir. We go on to the rapporteur's report, or you just explain a few comments before we move on?
We just move straight away to the Rapporteur General's report. So I welcome...
Please ask if she's ready. If she's ready.
Okay, sir. Dr. Chama, would you please... Okay, sir.
Yes,
okay, ma.
Yes, ma. I'm ready.
Okay,
ready.
ma. Yes, you have the floor.
Never ready, Dr. Juku. Okay, thank you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. What a wonderful day. What a highly impactful presentation by our revered professional colleague and a senior member of the ICANN Institute, Dr. Mrs. Afokala, Dr. Mrs. Shaba, please, FCA. Please, ma, thank you so much. Today's communique, the summary of what we have done today, being the 7th edition of MFP Group. MFP means Multidisciplinary Finance Professionals. It's a free lecture, one of the free lectures we are having for the month. We had one last month. Today being 20th September 2024, we started by 5 p.m. The topic is Business Survival Strategies in a Vuca World, the Nigerian Experience. It was well presented by Dr. Mrs. Joy Shaba, FCA. And the preamble, this series is our way of enhancing the professional capabilities and competencies of participants, especially chartered accountants, finance professionals, and other members of the public on topical, national, finance, and accounting issues. The people today, we reached the maximum slot we got for today, 100 participants, and I know that others were trying to join, but they didn't. So this virtual program had a maximum slot of 100 participants in attendance, including MFP Group Leader and President, CEO, MFP Group Services, Chief Hosts, and our Chief Host, Dr. Prince Oyebade Oyedepo. And he's also a member of Oyo State Anti-Corruption Agency, Oyaka. Other participants include the chairman of session, Dr. Abel Asian, FCA. We call him Triple A, Dr. Triple A, I call him that. He's the executive secretary, the Association of Accountancy Bodies in West Africa, ABWA. We also had the presence of the special guest of honor, Chief
Afolabi Ibariola, FCA, is the past chairman of Osun and District Society of ICANN and executive director of MFP Global Services. We also have, a lot of our members of MFP Group attended this program. We have captains of industries. We have Professor Francis Kayinde Emeni, FCA, who introduced the chairman of session. Dr. Omaka Odim Omaka, FCA, introduced the guest speaker. Then we also have Mrs. Tolu Olatoyan, FCA of Precious Cornerstone University, Ibadan. She anchored the program. The opening prayer was said, and our reverse, we also have, I didn't identify any of our past chairmen that we used to have, one or two of them. So we have some council members present. We can see our revered council member, Sir Abiodun Adedeji of ICANN, council members of ICANN. I'm yet to see any CITN council member too, because all of us are here. And our SWAN national chairperson, Mrs. Hilda, didn't see her today. So but I believe, if you check our records, we'll also confirm before we release a communique. We also have presence of the gentlemen of the press. They graced our occasion. And this our program is live streamed via YouTube on our MFP Group page. It's called MFP Group Nigeria. So everything we have been doing over the 2 years we've been doing this program, they are all in that platform. Then the opening. Our chief host, Dr. Oyebade Oyedepo, he welcomed everyone and thanked us for joining. Said that the economy has been so fragile despite various government policies. There are several policies that have been so inconsistent and they have all caused a lot of issues for business owners. Despite the huge FAC allocation, we still have high inflation, and the devaluation of the currency is making almost everything worthless, and people are living from hand to mouth, which is a serious matter, and we are in a precarious situation. But he encouraged that some professionals, we are the ones that will help to change this narrative by our constant training and being able to help advise governments, and wherever we see ourselves, we should do things right. And he encouraged us to always be the ones to offer lasting solutions to redress the situation. Our chairman of session, Dr. Ebel Essien, emphasized that policy inconsistency are affecting businesses, and public policies are driving businesses out. Those who cannot cope are leaving the shores of the country, and others are also staying and bringing new innovations. Thereafter, he invited the guest speaker, Dr. Mrs. Joy Shaba, to present her paper. We had a very highly technical presentation today, well-researched paper. He had all the paper. You know that the person that wrote this is a PhD holder. She went through a lot of rig of problems from chapter 1 to 5. They are all there in this seemingly friendly discussion. Ended up becoming so technical and very, very rich, as if she's doing her inaugural lecture. But we thank God and thank you, Ma, for this presentation. Then the guest speaker reviewed that from empirical evidences, business activities significantly affect the level of economic growth and development of any nation. Because they are the ones that provide employment, they reduce poverty, they create wealth and contribute to the GDP. She asserted that in today's was brought out, so people have been asking what is Vuca. Vuca means, she said that in today's world, that the volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity situation we find ourselves in Nigeria is what we call Vuca environment. This terminology emerged in the 1990s by the US War College. And it has been used by research and also draw up conclusions from it. Then the business challenges in Nigeria that ignited this discussion today are enormous. There are several. And she categorized them into two: internal and external challenges in line with the assertion of Gumel 2017. Challenges and enterprise challenges, while the external include the external business environment challenges. So many of them have been mentioned, from high taxation, increased